An infinity mirror consists of two mirrors facing each other with a border of lights between them. Images of lights bounce back and forth repeatedly between the two mirrors to create a series of images of lights that slowly decrease in size. Well, that's it. If you want to make an infinity mirror at home, then you'll simply need to follow these steps. You will need a cardboard which is cut in a circle. Remove the boundary of the circle and keep the main circle aside. Next, you will need a flexible mirror. Then, put a thick strip of cardboard like this. Then take a thinner strip of cardboard and stick lightning on it. Then break the mirror box back and stick the lightning strip on top like this. Fix another flexible mirror above the lightning strip like this. Next, put the batteries so that the lights work. Now, you take the circle back and stick it like this. A cylinder cannot stay properly on a flat surface, so put some beams for the balance. Voila! Here goes your infinity mirror. You can also make this at home.
Infinity mirrors work on a principle of placing two mirror surfaces so that they can bounce the light that is caught between them seemingly to the infinity. First step is to set up two large classic mirrors to face one another. Then place an object between these two mirrors. You can see the reflection of the object in both the mirrors. This reflection bounces from one mirror to another and create an exciting effect of infinity reflections of the object that are shrinking back to the distant infinite point in the middle of the mirrors. Infinity mirrors find commercial applications in the world around us. These are mostly commonly used in elevators, amusement parks, dressing rooms, clothing and departmental stores. As these are ceiling to wall mirrors, they face each other. Hence, the reflection bounces off from one mirror to another. Many amusement parks use them efficiently, such as Disney's Space Mountain roller coaster, in which infinity mirror is used to create the impression of flying through space. Many Hollywood movies has used infinity mirrors, such as Star Wars: The Last Jedi. In a short case scene segment with an infinity mirror-like effect. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all present here. Welcome to a Nirman project. Today we are going to tell you about a very interesting topic named nanotechnology in medicines.
The use of nanotechnology in medicines offers some exciting possibilities. Some techniques are only imagined, while others are at various stages of testing or actually being used today.
Nanotechnology in medicine currently being developed evolves employing nanoparticles to deliver drugs, heat, light, or substances to specific types of cells, such as cancer cells.
Nanotechnology in medicines involves application of nanoparticles currently under the development, as well as longer range research that involves the use of manufactured nanorobots to make repairs at the cellular level. We can also call it as nanomedicine.
Particles are engineered so that they are attracted to diseased cells, which allows direct treatment of those cells. This technique reduces damage to healthy cells in the body and allows for earlier detection of disease.
The use of nanotechnology in the field of medicine could revolutionize the way we detect and treat damage to the human body and disease in the future. Many techniques only imagined a few years ago, making remarkable progress towards becoming realities. Nanomedicine sales reached 16 billion in 2015 with a minimum of 3.8 billion in nanotechnology R&D being invested every year. Global funding for emerging nanotechnology increased by 45% per year in recent years, with the product sales exceeding 1 trillion in 2013. As the nanomedicine industry continues to grow, it is expected to have a significant impact on the economy.
Good morning everyone. My name is Anushka Srivastava and I am from class 7th F. Today my topic from my Nirman exhibition is a solar oven. A solar oven is a device which uses the energy of direct sunlight to heat, to cook a pasteurized drink and other food materials. Many solar cookers currently in the use are relatively inexpensive, low-tech devices, although some are powerful or as expensive as traditional stoves. And advanced, large-scale solar cookers can cook for hundreds of people. Because they use no fuel and cost nothing to operate, many of the non-profit organizations are promoting the worldwide in order to help reduce fuel cost and air pollution and to help slow down deforestation or desertification. Here I have made a raw solar oven using a box, aluminium foil, food wrapping film and some teeth. Aluminium foil is the best and the most useful solution for solar ovens as it radiates the heat energy maximum. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all present here. My name is Ritik and my project topic is non-collinear points. Non-collinear points are a set of points that do not lie in a straight line. Different patterns can be obtained by joining lines through these non-collinear points. The number of lines that can be drawn through these non-collinear points is also fixed. Here we can see two non-collinear points. One line can be made through these two non-collinear points. Here we can see three non-collinear points. Out of this, 3 lines can be made. So ma'am, would you now like to try how many lines can be made through these 4 non-collinear points?
Yes, we can make 6 lines.
Yes ma'am, you are right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So ma'am, would you like to say how many lines can be made through these 5 non-collinear points? Yes ma'am, I can understand that as the number of non-collinear points increase, it becomes difficult to know how many lines can be made through these non-collinear points. So for this we have a formula. So let's try it. There are 2 non-collinear points. So 1 subtracted from 2 is 1. 2 ones are
2.
and half of 2 is
1.
So 1 line can be made. Here there are 3 non-collinear points. So 1 less than 3 is
2.
3 twos are
6.
and half of 6 is
3.
so 3 lines can be made.
Okay.
Now ma'am, from these 4 non-collinear points.
Wait, child. Let me try it. The number of points here is 4 and 1 less than 4 gives me 3. So 4 3s are 12. And next, what you said?
Half of 12.
Okay, so half of 12 was 6.
Yes.
Okay.
So
you
6
got
lines
6
can
lines.
be made. And your answer is right. Now, in the same way, from these 5 non-collinear points, we can use that formula and get the answer. That is, 1 less than 5 is 4, 5 4s are 20 and half of 20 is 10. So 10 lines can be made, which is shown here. When from these 5 non-collinear points, when these 10 lines are made, they form a beautiful pattern which seems like there is a star inside a pentagon. And similarly, from these 6 non-collinear points, 15 lines can be made. And it also gives us a beautiful pattern. So with this we come to a formula which is n minus 1 upon 2, where n represents the number of non-collinear points.
Okay, child.
Now ma'am, I would like to tell you about the persistence of vision. Now this is a flower and this is a flower pot. These are 2 different images. When we see more than 2 images in a quick succession, it seems that both the images are same. So ma'am, would you like to see it?
Yeah, show me.
Yes ma'am, see. It seems like the flower is inside the flower pot.
Yes, child, I can see that.
Yes ma'am, this is because of the persistence of vision. Now ma'am, I would like to tell you more facts about persistence of vision. Persistence of vision traditionally refers to the optical illusion that occurs when visual perception of an object does not cease for some time after the rays of light proceeding from it have ceased to enter the eye. And ma'am, do you know that persistence of vision works because the human brain and eye can remember 10 to 12 separate images in a second, retaining an image for a 15th of a second. If a subsequent image replaces it in this period of time, it will create the illusion of continuity. So ma'am, I hope you liked my project.
Yes, child, it was good. Can you show me this once again?
Yes ma'am, see.
Yes, that's good.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Freya Mangi from class 7th F, and today with the help of this trigonometric calculator, I am going to make these trigonometric formulas easy for you. So let's begin. Trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that deals with triangles. The trigonometry is also called as the study of relationship between the angle and length of the triangle. There are n number of reasons for these trigonometric formulas. For example, the technique of triangulation is used in astronomy to measure the distance between nearby stars, in geography to measure the distance between nearby landmarks, construction, engineering, marine biology, and many more such jobs. Students are usually introduced to these trigonometric formulas in class 9th or 10th. Soon they become more hard and complex from class 11th and 12th. So let's begin. But before that, the positioning of these functions is even more important. So we begin with the most basic formula, which is tan theta equals to sin theta divided by cos theta. So they come together. Now we put all the c's together. So cot theta and cosec theta. And the remaining one is sec theta. So sec. So let's begin with the formulas. So the first formula is the most basic one, which is tan theta is equal to sin theta divided by cos theta. So let's place it on this calculator. So tan theta is equal to sin theta divided by cos theta. So after this, by remembering this one formula, you can get all of the formulas automatically on this calculator. So let's recheck it. Sin theta is equal to cos theta divided by cot theta, and so on. So let's move on to our next formula. So when we multiply the opposite vertices, we get the answer as 1. So tan theta multiplied by cot theta, we get the product as 1. So let's place it on this calculator. So tan theta multiplied by cot theta, we get the product as 1. So by remembering this one formula, you get all the other formulas automatically. Now let's recheck it. Sin theta multiplied by cosec theta, you get the answer as 1. And cos theta multiplied by sec theta, you also get the answer as 1. So isn't that amazing? Let's move on to the next formula. the opposite functions are reciprocal to each other. So tan theta is equals to 1 divided by cot theta. So let's place it on the calculator. So tan theta is equal to 1 divided by cot theta. So this is a third formula, and even this, by remembering one formula, you get all the other 5 formulas automatically. So let's recheck it. Sin theta is equal to 1 divided by cosec theta, and cos theta is equal to 1 divided by cosec theta. Now let's move to the fourth and the last formula. So for that, we need not use the other hexagons. We only need to use the outermost one. Let's divide the hexagon in 6 triangles. So we take 6 equal parts of the hexagon. So we always have to go clockwise. Now let's take the first triangle as an example. You always go clockwise. So tan square theta plus sine square theta. So you get the answer as 1. Let's skip the second one. Now go to the third triangle. So when you go clockwise, so the formula is 1 square plus cos square theta is equal to cot square theta. Let's skip the fourth one and move to the fifth triangle. So even in this we go clockwise. So sec square theta plus 1 is equal to cosec square theta. So these were some basic formulas. There are n number of formulas which can be done in this calculator. So hope this information was helpful for you. Thank you.
Hello and good morning, respected teachers and all my dear friends. Ever wondered about the consequences of conventional ways of generating electricity to the environment? Yeah, we all know that. But can you talk about the solution rather than highlighting an already known problem? The solution is hydroelectric power turbine. Any more details or something you want to show us? A hydroelectric turbine converts the energy of flowing water into mechanical energy. A hydroelectric generator further converts the mechanical energy into electricity.
Hello everyone, today I, Jimshita Kavli of 7th grade from Anandanya High School, welcome you to Nirman Exhibition. Today my project name is Hand Drawing Machine. Drawing machine has a history dating back into early 1400s. It is a device or an apparatus which assists a human in the act of drawing. Drawing machines are not only developed to make complex patterns or geometrical shapes. It comprises of gears and pulleys. But today I have made this project with the help of cardboard. I will show you. Now I am going to show you how this works. This is the paper. We place it and yes. And now we will the angle and make another pattern. Now I am changing this pen into another hole. And with this we'll have another pattern. Guys, see, we have made so cute and beautiful designs. So beautiful. Now I'll show you some more samples which are made with the help of this machine. Isn't it amazing? So, I hope you like this project, and before I would like to conclude, I would like to extend my gratitude towards my teachers who gave me beautiful opportunity and my parents who helped me making this and make it possible during this lockdown. Thank you.
Good morning, teachers and my dear friends. My name is Kavya Khan and my name is Tanisha Thakur and my team member name is Kavan Dave. And today we will explain you about our project, which is Tiny Dancers. Put the magnet on the negative end of the battery. Bend the wires into a shape so one end touches the magnet and the other part touches the positive end of the battery. Place the wire onto the battery so that it touches the positive end of the battery and see what happens. The copper wires will spin around and the wire touches the top of the battery and the magnet. It is making a circuit which allows electrons to flow. This is the current. This force, which is called a Lorentz force, acts on the wire and causes it to move, which makes the wire spin around, and a homopolar motor creates rotational moment because of what it is known as the Lorentz force. What's happening is that electrical current is flowing from the positive terminal of the battery to the negative and into the magnet. If the motor does not begin to spin, try flipping the magnet so the other side is touching the battery. If it still does not work, you need to tweak your wire sculpture. Remove the battery from the magnet while you work so it does not get too hot. The different types of magnet it works on and different shapes you can bend the wire.
Good evening, ma'am, and my dear friends. My name is Mehak Chaudhary. I am from class 7th F, and I am going to present my fizzy moon craft. The moon in your night sky may not fizz and bubble like the fizzy moon craft, but it's still interesting to dig into astronomy, chemistry with our favorite reaction of baking soda and vinegar. What is STEAM? STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, and the arts, and mathematics. And in our educational life, approach to learning for kids, STEAM encourages problem-solving inquiry with a focus on the arts. Learn about the moon with STEAM. Get ready to add this simple mean activity to end activity and craft to your space theme lesson. Lesson plans. This season, if you want to learn about the phase of the moon, 1. Explore STEAM with fizzy paint. Let's get started with our to make sure. Check out these other fun space activities. Our science activity and experiments are designed with your parents and our teachers. in mind, easy to set up, quick to do most activities. Will take only 15 to 30 minutes to complete and heaps of fun. Plus, our supplies list usually contain only free or cheap materials you can source from house. You may also constellations. For kids, now I will tell you what materials are used for my fizzy moon craft. Black card, stock or heavyweight paper, baking soda, vinegar, spray bottle or pipette, cups and mixing utensil, craft paint, and the last but not the least, paintbrushes. Thank you so much for looking at my Nirman exhibition.
A warm and a pleasant greeting to all dear teachers. Myself Manasvi Rapuri from 7th F.
Myself Neonika Goradia from 7B.
Myself Pooja Bhandari from class 7D.
And the project is a cost-effective DIY holographic pyramid. Holography dates from the year 1947 when British scientist Dennis Gabor developed the theory of holography while he was trying to improve the resolution of an electron microscope. Gabor coined the term hologram from the Greek word holos meaning hole and gramma meaning message. Now I would like to call my teammate Neonika to explain you exactly what is a hologram.
A hologram is a real-world recording of an interference pattern that uses diffraction to reproduce a 3D light field, resulting in an image formed which still has the same depth, parallax and other properties of the original screen. A hologram is a photographic recording instead of an image captured by a lens. Now we know exactly what a hologram is. Now let's understand its working and types from my teammate Purna.
These popular holographic solutions come in two types. The first one is a DIY holographic pyramid which can be kept on top of a smartphone or tablet at home, and the second one is infinitely more professional, made up of holographic cubes with a pyramid alongside a screen. The one which we have made is a DIY holographic pyramid. The holographic pyramid uses reflection of light in a similar way to that of the Pepper's ghost effect, creating the 3D hologram within the case. The hologram uses this because of the 45-degree positioning of the sides of the pyramid on the glass which creates the hologram within the case.
So now we are going to demonstrate the working of our project.
This is how our project works.
Look at the beautiful yellow butterfly.
It appears to be a 3D image.
And this is how a hologram is created in a holographic pyramid.
Greetings to one and all present here. Today, I, Hashita Saraf, with my group members Pari Agarwal and Mehak Mistry, are going to explain you about drip irrigation. So, here is the well, and from the well, water is going into the tank with the help of the pump. And from the tank, water is distributed into the plants drop by drop by drip irrigation method, which not only saves water but also gives sufficient water throughout the day to plants.
Drip irrigation.
Drip irrigation is a type of micro irrigation system that has the potential to save water and nutrients by allowing water to drip slowly to the roots of the plants, either from above the soil surface or buried below the surface. Drip irrigation, in contrast, has efficiencies in excess of 90%. As an APD solution to every farming challenge in India, precision irrigation helps farmers supply the right quantities of water and nutrients to the crop root zone, thereby controlling the yield, ensuring comparatively higher quantities of yield, and also enhance its quality through measured dosages of fertilizers and water. Now my friend Harshita Saraf is going to explain you about drip irrigation.
Drip irrigation is one of the oldest technologies mankind developed. It is used extensively across the world. Countries with the largest population are USA, India, etc. Water is allowed to drip on the root of the plant. The water can either be supplied on the above surface of the soil or buried under the surface. The main goal of drip irrigation is to provide water on the root of the plant rather than pour it on the soil where it evaporates at a certain extent. There are many types of drip irrigation that have been developed after its success.
So, some advantages of drip irrigation are: whatever our field capacity is, there need to be moisture, roots need to be hydrated, soil erosion and weed growth is reduced, water distribution is controlled according to the necessity, water is produced to every root. These are some advantages which is very useful for drip irrigation.
Conclusion of drip irrigation system. Drip irrigation system is the most valuable innovation in agriculture. This is becoming more popular in row crop irrigation where water supply is limited. Thus, drip irrigation is considered as the best solution in case of water scarcity. Thank you.
Good morning teachers and all my dear friends. I am Prachi Agarwal from class 7th F and my today's Nirman topic is adulteration of food. As we all know that in markets, the shopkeepers sell such food items which are not totally pure and can be a mixture of harmful substances which can affect our health. They may be of cheap, low quality or generally non-edible substances which are purposely mixed with other food items to earn profit. Such substances are called adulterants. Most of the adulterants are harmful for our health. So today I am going to test 5 such food items which we use in our daily life. First, I am going to test an iodine salt, that if the iodine salt is mixed with a common salt. For that I need a potato, a salt, an iodine salt and a mixture of iodine and a common salt and a lemon juice. This is an iodine salt and this is mixture of common salt. Now we have to wait for 1 minute and after 1 minute we have to add 2 drops of lemon juice in each of the potato. So as we saw, after pouring the lemon juice, the common salt, mixture of iodine salt and common salt has turned into bluish color and iodine salt is. Second experiment is to test that the sugar solution is pure or it is mixed with the chalk powder. For that, we need to pour sugar in the water. This is pure sugar and this is the sugar adulterated with chalk powder.
Now we need to stir it well till it dissolves completely. After dissolving both the solutions completely, the non-adulterated solution is completely mixed with sugar. But in the adulterated one, the chalk has settled down completely, but the sugar has dissolved. So this proves that this is non-adulterated sugar and this is adulterated sugar. In the third experiment, I am going to test that the turmeric powder is pure or it is adulterated with an artificial color. For that, I need to pour turmeric color in the water. This is a pure turmeric color. And this is turmeric color mixed with artificial color. Now we need to stir them. So in non-adulterated solution turmeric, we can test that the turmeric gets settled down and it changes into light yellow color. But in adulterated turmeric powder, the turmeric solution with water converts into strong yellow color. This proves that the turmeric powder is adulterated, and in this the turmeric powder is unadulterated. I am going to test that the milk is pure or it is adulterated with the detergent. For that, I need to pour. This is the pure milk which I am pouring into the glass, and this is adulterated and it is detergent, adulterated with detergent. Now I will stir it. After stirring both the components completely well, in the pure milk, the bubbles haven't appeared. But in the detergent and mixture of detergent and milk, which is an adulterated solution, the bubbles have appeared. This proves that this milk is adulterated and the pure milk, which doesn't have bubbles, is unadulterated. In the fifth experiment, I am going to test that the chili powder is pure or it is mixed with the brick color. I am pouring this chili powder in water. And this mixture of chili and brick powder. Now I will stir both well. After mixing both the solutions, in the unadulterated solution, the chili and the water, this solution has changed completely dark red color. But in this one, the brick has settled down at the bottom. This proves that this is adulterated and this is the mixture of chili and brick, and in this is pure chili. So these were all the 5 experiments to test that the substance is adulterated or non-adulterated. Because adulterated food is dangerous as it may be toxic and affect health. It could deprive all the nutrients required to maintain proper health. It may cause intoxication or problems such as allergy in sensitized individuals. A variety of chemical, biological and physical hazards are the major causes of food safety problems. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. Today I, Anushka Mishra, with my teammates Sanvi Garnani and Rajeshri Gupta will be explaining you about our today's project for Nirman Exhibition 2020. These days air pollution is increasing. So electric vehicle EV revolution is speeding up. But it can only go so far without the necessary infrastructure and technology. As thinking of shift from fossil fuels to all electrical vision of brighter and more optimistic world came into views. Electrical vehicle can reduce emissions of polluted air and also can save your money. So, from this explanation, you came to know about our today's topic, which is electrical vehicles. Most of the electric car looks are they have capacity to handle 2 to 6 people at a time. Some of them has face-to-face seats and a fold-out table. It has extended window over the car. A space is located at right side for the passengers to sleep, known as the relaxation areas. It drives itself automatically. There are 3 and 4 wheels electric car also. 3-wheel car example is Strom R3.
Electric cars use a traction battery pack to store the electricity used by the motor. The traction battery pack must be recharged and its efficiency determines the overall range of the vehicle. It can be recharged at any charging stations or charging ports. Onboard charger takes in the AC electricity supplied by the charging port and converts it to DC power to charge the traction battery. The DC-DC converter converts the higher voltage DC to lower voltage DC to run the vehicle's accessories and the auxiliary battery. The transmission transfers mechanical power from the traction motor to drive the wheels. The thermal system maintains a proper operating temperature range of engine, electric motors, and power electronics with other components. There are only 20 moving parts in an electric car, whereas 2000 in an ICE. So your electric car will need a lot less maintenance. The Tesla Model 3 with the maximum range of 353 miles was the world's best-selling EV in 2018 on an annual basis, according to the EPA, and it became the world's all-time best-selling EV in early 2020. A German company called Enolith has announced that it is working on an EV battery that will give the car the maximum range of 620 miles. You park your car on a charging pad which could be placed under the road surface and it charges its batteries with no need to plug in. It is the same like charging pads for smartphones, just bigger. This technology already exists and many companies are trying to bring it to the market. A trial for wireless charging taxis has been announced in Nottingham. The technology, which could be commercialized as early as 2022, uses a non-flammable inorganic electrolyte which reduces the risk of your car catching a fire, compared with flammable organic electrolyte used in traditional cars.
Good morning, ma'am and sir. My name is Ruhi Patel and I am from class 7th F, and my today's topic for Nirman exhibition is respiratory system. So now I will show you the model of respiratory system. This was all about my project. Thank you.
Teacher, my name is Sunakshi from 7th F and our Nirman exhibition of the year 2020 is based on the theme STEAM. S stands for science, T stands for technology, E stands for engineering, A stands for arts and M stands for mathematics. My project is on technology robotic arm. So I have made this robotic arm with the help of cardboard. First, we need to make a rough outline of an arm on the cardboard. After making the outline, we need to cut it. Now, after cutting the outline, we need to make an arm to support the fingers. We will make the arm with the help of small pieces of cardboard. We will paste it with the help of a strong adhesive Fevibond. The arm is ready. Now we will bend the fingers. Now we will attach this strip to the arm to give it a big support. Now the arm is almost ready. Now I will paste small pieces of straw in bend of each finger. Now the robotic arm is ready. I have covered it with silver paper so that it looks more attractive, and I have passed woolen through the straw so that it gives movement to the fingers. This is how it works when I pull the strings of the fingers to form a grip. The robotic arm is used in multiple industrial applications, from welding, material handling, and thermal spraying to painting and drilling. The robotic technology gives a human dexterity in a variety of environments. The robotic arm reduces worker injury, stress, and mishaps that can cause major harm. Robots turn out to be cheaper at cost and more productive as compared to humans. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, madam. My name is Tanishka Santosh Rawlani, and my today's topic is hovercraft drone. Drone is also called unmanned aerial vehicle or unmanned aircraft system. Essentially, a drone is a flying robot which is remotely controlled or flying automatically through the software. The flight planes are unmanned system. Working in conjunction is onboard sensor and GPS. Now I will show you how it works. This was land mode. Now I will show you the air mode.
Good morning, ma'am, teachers, and my dear friend. Myself, Amir Bhate from 7F.
And myself, Arshi Ghosh from 7J.
So here you can see that we are making a smoke absorber, and we are using different sizes of cardboard, and all these materials are readily available.
We are also using batteries, pipes, wires, and fan with the motor.
Smoke absorber helps in removing all the contagious fumes from the air. It provides proper ventilation and removes harmful fumes from the air. So you see that just by using readily available resources, we can efficiently put down our ideas. Thank you.
my group presents you a Nirman exhibition project named Car Functioning Tesla.
In the same year, autopilot became available. With autopilot, you can remove your hands from the steering wheel and let the car drive by itself. It can steer, accelerate and brake automatically within its lane. Autopilot is a feature that can be activated in all Tesla cars. Currently, Tesla cars can't fully drive by themselves yet. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, said the fully self-driving will come at the end of 2020. The Model S has improved a lot since 2012. With ludicrous mode, the car can reach a top speed of 163 miles per hour. And even more impressive, it can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.3 seconds. This is even quicker than the $3 million Bugatti Chiron that could reach 60 miles.
Starting for the Tesla Model X. This is a mid-size luxury SUV. The Model X is a 7-passenger car. It is known for its Falcon doors. The base price was around $80,000. The car could reach top speed of 155 miles per hour, could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds, and had a range of 250 miles. The Model X is one of the safest SUV in the world with a 5-star rating. Tesla improved the Model X in 2019. With ludicrous mode, the car can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.7 seconds, which is even faster than the Lamborghini Aventador S.
From the start, Elon Musk wanted to develop a car that is affordable for the mass market. That's why Tesla made the Model 3 in 2017. The starting price is $35,000. The Model 3 can reach a top speed of 162 miles per hour and can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds and has a range of 320 miles. No wonder the car has been a huge success so far, and that's not at all. Tesla announced the Model Y. The Model Y is basically a bigger of Model 3. The starting price will be $39,000 and will be later released this year. All Tesla models have a lineup in the models of S, E, X and Y. This is because it has always been the goal of Tesla to make electrical cars good and attractive. However, the number 3 was used to replace by the letter E because Ford has already claimed the trade name Model E. Tesla also announced a truck named Tesla Semi. Tesla said that the energy cost will be half of those diesel, thus providing more than $200,000 in fuel savings. Tesla also said that it will be the safest and most comfortable truck with a range of 500 miles. The expected starting price for the truck will be $150,000 and will be also released later this year. Tesla also announced a new Tesla Roadster. The Tesla Roadster with a top speed of more than 250 miles per hour, which is great. It can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour just 1.9 seconds and has an incredible range of 620 miles. This will be the quickest in the world record, and with a setting of acceleration, range and performance, a supercar with a base price $200,000 that will be released at the end of this year or early next year.
Good morning, my respected madam and my teachers. Today my topic is wind turbine. Wind turbine, it works on a simple principle, which is that we use electricity to create wind with the help of the machine like fan. But in this, it uses the wind to create electricity. It turns the propeller-like blades of the wind turbine around a rotor, which spins the generator, which creates the electricity or the electric current. There are 13 different parts which are present in the wind turbine. The first part of a wind turbine is the foundation, and second is the connection to the electrical grid, and the third is the tower, and fourth is accessory ladder, fifth is wind orientation control, sixth is nacelle, and seventh is generator, eighth is anemometer, ninth is electric or mechanical brake, and 10th is gearbox, 11th is rotor blade, 12th is blade pitch control, 13th is rotor hub. These are the basic parts which are in a wind turbine. The wind turbine can produce 4,02,000 kilovolts per month. This is the electricity production of an average wind turbine, which can provide electricity to 460 average US homes, and the capacity of electricity created by a wind turbine depends on the size of the wind turbine. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I Kirit Rawat
and I Aditya Jugle from 7th F.
We are going to present our project based on this year's theme.
STEAM. Our project topic is kaleidoscope.
A kaleidoscope is an optical instrument consisting of two or more mirrors tilted towards each other at a certain angle to obtain symmetrical patterns. By rotating the tube, symmetrical images are created.
The word kaleidoscope is derived from the ancient Greek word kalos, meaning beautiful, and eidos, meaning that which is seen, and scopio, meaning to take, to look. It is invented by David Brewster. We have made this project by using three mirrors attached to each other. At one end, a triangular box with some beads is placed. To get beautiful patterns on the mirror when seen from the other end.
Basic principle used in the kaleidoscope are the laws of reflection. When the white light hits the surface of the mirror, it gets reflected at an angle.
Due to multiple reflections of light, there is a creation of these beautiful patterns. Kaleidoscope is an optical toy consisting of two or more mirrors at a particular angle. Some common uses of kaleidoscope are:
Kaleidoscope produces beautiful patterns that are used by fashion designers. A kaleidoscope is used as a toy for entertainment.
Good morning, ma'am and sir.
I'm Ashwin K.
I am Ashwin S.
I am Khushmi Tandon.
I am Nanik. Today we are presenting you the working of electric car. What is an electric car? The electric car is a car which is propelled by one or more electric motors using the energy stored in the rechargeable batteries. Compared to the internal combustion engine which is called ICE cars, the electric cars is quieter, have no exhaust emissions and lower emissions. In the United States of 2020, the cost of electric cars is cheaper than that of ICE cars because of low fueling and maintenance cost. The charging of electric car can be installed at both public areas and houses.
So we knew about what is an electric car. Now let us know the history behind it. The first practical electric cars were produced in the 1880s. In November 1881, Gustave Troff presented an electric car at the Exposition Internationale d'Electricité de Paris. In 1884, over 20 years before the Ford Model T, Thomas Parker built a practical production electric car in Wolverhampton using his own specially designed high-capacity rechargeable batteries.
although the only documentation is a photograph from 1895. The Flocken Electrowagon of 1888 was designed by German inventor Andreas Flocken and is regarded as the first real electric car. Now my friend Ashwin S. will continue.
So we saw what is an electric car, what is the history behind it. Now let's see what is the working of an electric car. For this, we have taken a small 3D modeling video for better understanding.
So what is an electric car specifically? Well, they convert the DC into an AC from the inverter. Now, electric cars don't have a ICE, that is an internal combustion engine, and you would expect a battery in the front under the bonnet, but it is not like that. Electric cars have around 7,000 lithium-ion batteries that sit under the flooring. Now, these battery packs give you longer lifespan and higher power density to power the electric car. But one of the vulnerabilities is overheating and thermal breakdown. But electric cars
My name is Kandesh Pandey and my today's topic is Magic, Logic and Science Behind the Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube was invented by Arno Rubik in 1977 at Hungary. The first model was made out of wood. Arno Rubik made this for his students so they can develop the logic behind solving puzzles. At first, the Rubik's Cube might seem difficult, but you can solve it very easily once you know the logic behind it, and the physics behind it makes you to solve it even more faster and faster every time. The Rubik's Cube is a combination puzzle and it has over 43 quintillion scrambles and there is only one outcome. The Rubik's Cube has 8 corners, 12 edges and 6 centers. Now I am going to try and explain you the science behind speed cubing. The Rubik's Cube structure might seem quite simple from outside, but from the inside it's quite complex. The Rubik's Cube has a core which connects to the centers. The center contains a spring and a screw. It contains a spring and a screw. The spring helps to keep the cube together, and the screw helps the cube to be held together, and the spring helps it to have elasticity, which helps it to make it faster or slower. The pieces have magnets in it, which makes them to be held together, just like this. As I mentioned earlier, the first Rubik's Cube was made out of wood, but it had a slight disadvantage. The disadvantage was that due to friction, the pieces of wood would burn from the inside. So, after some research, the people came out with the plastic Rubik's Cube, which had less friction and the pieces did not burn. But the cube was still very slow and very hard to turn. So people introduced the concept of lubricant. The lubricant makes the cube smooth from the inside. making it turn even faster than before. So here was my explanation of the scientific science behind the cube. Do you know how fast can a person solve a 3x3x3 cube? You know, the world record for solving the 3x3x3 cube is 3.47 seconds. I am averaging around 22 seconds. I know there is a long way to go, but I will make it someday. Now I will quickly show you how to assemble it. So this was the magic, logic and science behind speed cubing. I hope you liked my project. I would like to thank my teacher and NL Dalmia High School to help me discover the science behind my passion, speed cubing. Now a scramble and a solve.
Good afternoon, respected teachers and my dear friends. Myself, Karthik Swaminathan, going to cover the project, technology, and especially about robots. Well, for me, robot is a good servant, but a dangerous master. Here is all you need to know about robots. Let's begin. Here is the definition of robots. Robot is an automatic machine that performs action as a human, or in simpler words, we can say that a robot is a form of human. The earliest robots as we know was created in the early 1950s by George C. Deville, who was a great inventor from Kentucky. He invented a manipulator called Unimate from Universal Automation. For the next decade, he attempted to sell his product, but all to no avail. Today in the industrial world, robots can do almost everything. All the tasks which humans can do, robots can do it at ease. Assembling, managing and using various tools can be done by robot. Heavy labor can be picked up by robot at ease. Books about robots. They include Introduction to AI Robotics, Rise of the Robots, Technology and the Threat of a Jobless Future, Machine Vision and Navigation, From Artificial Intelligence to Brain Intelligence. Technology used in robots include elastic skin, artificial eyes, artificial nose, artificial mouth and artificial hands. Along with that, these all come under AI, which means artificial intelligence.
Hello teachers and students. My name is Karthik Iyengar and I study in 7th F, roll number 29. Today my topic about my project is drag force. Drag force is the aerodynamic force that opposes an aircraft's or parachute's motion through the air. Drag is generated by the difference in the velocity between the solid objects and the fluid. There must be motion between the object and the fluid. If there is no motion, there is no drag. So now I am going to demonstrate drag force through my project, which consists of a parachute.
everyone. My greetings to all. My name is Aditya Mangal. Our project is Electricity Conducting Steam Engine and my teammates are Nix Sharma and Midhan Shayer. This is not an ordinary steam engine. It works on the basic principle of a steam engine, but it produces electricity from heat energy and can even light a bulb. And the most interesting thing about this steam engine is that it is made up of household things such as CDs, syringe, candles, etc.
The great inventions that came about during the Industrial Revolution was the steam engine. The first commercial steam engine appeared in 1698. The steam engine was the most important technologies of the Industrial Revolution, which changed the world. The first steam-powered machine was built in 1698.
An engine is a machine that converts energy into mechanical force or motion that can turn pistons and wheels. The purpose of an engine is to provide power. A steam engine provides mechanical power by using the energy of a steam. Steam engines were the first successful engines invented and were driving force behind the Industrial Revolution. They have been used to power the first trains, ships, factories, and even cars. And while steam engines were definitely important in the past, they also now have a new future in supplying us with power with geothermal energy sources.
Now, my friend Nix will tell you about the working of the electrical steam engine.
Hi, my name is Nick Sharma and I am going to explain you about the electricity conducting the steam engine.
The main components used in the project are a CD, a syringe, a copper pipe, and a juice can. Behind the CD, there is a motor. There is water filled inside the juice can, which are heated by two candles. Below the can, the boiling water is then converted into steam, which passes through the copper pipe and it is transferred into kinetic energy in the syringe, and this energy is transformed to the CD, which makes it rotate. Oh wait, let me show you something.
A few moments later.
I have bought a bulb. The motor behind the CD will pass the electricity through the two wires, black and red color respectively, and it lights up as you can see now.
So thus we conclude that the steam engine conducting the electricity makes use of physics as there was energy transformation, mechanics and chemistry as the flames of the candle had reacted with the metallic juice can. This model also makes use of technology as it is an electric generator designed in a special way. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.
Good morning, sir or madam. My name is R. Arvind, roll number 32 from 7th F. My project is about light and explaining the working of a sky lantern. A lantern is a source of lighting typically featuring a protective enclosure for the light source. In earlier times, usually a candle or a wick in oil were used, but now battery-powered lights are used to make it easier and carry and hang up and make it more reliable outdoors or in drafty interiors. Lantern may be used in signaling as torches or as general light sources. Light is a form of energy that makes things visible to us. One of the most well-known properties of light it travels in a straight line by seeing the phenomena around us like a beam of sunlight enters a room through a narrow opening or a hole, and beam of light The physics of a sky lantern taking to there is similar to a hot air balloon. It uses hot air within a balloon to make it rise when the air around the outside of the balloon is cooler. The difference between a balloon and a lantern is that the balloon has a pilot and a basket attached to it. A lantern has a candle or a fuel cell with which heats the air, and this hot air fills the sky lantern. The consequence of this is that the lantern rises in the air. Since we cannot use wax and fire in this project due to safety reasons, we have settled with using lights and have explained the phenomena of light traveling in a straight line as well as how sky lantern works. Thank you.
Good morning, teachers and my dear friends. My name is Rohan Robinson from class 7th F, and my project name is Automated Street Lights. I chose this project because automation is new gen technology. This project works on the principle of LDR, which we have used over here and here. The working principle of LDR is that it gives low resistance with high intensity of light and high resistance with low intensity of light, which means that the high resistance in night or dark and low resistance in day or light. For the working part, when the car moves over the sensor, the illumination is blocked, and this is sensed by the sensor and light is switched on. When the car moves away from the sensor is again exposed to light and the light is turned off. So same as with the all other sensors. This technology has saved 70 to 80% of the energy used daily. This could change the world. Thank you.
Teachers and my dear friends, today I, Rushi Mehta, will speak on the topic kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope is a toy consisting of a tube containing mirrors and pieces of colored glass or paper, whose reflections produce changing patterns when the tube is rotating. Some of its uses in modern times are: kaleidoscope produces beautiful patterns that are used by fashion designers. Secondly, it is used to get different glasses and patterns. Thirdly, it is used by designers to design trucks, clothes, and also in interior designing. Thank you.
Good morning, Miss. I am Sahil Ramat Kasalkar from grade 7th F, and I am here to give you a speech which subject is science, and the topic is the tramp railway system. A tramp is a passenger vehicle that is like a light train. It carries people from places within a city because a single tram can carry many people at the same time. riding on a tramp instead of driving a car is a good way to help and prevent pollution and stop the roads getting too busy from the traffic. The word tramp is mainly used outside North America, while within North America, these vehicles are called streetcars or trolleys, as they run mainly on streets. More modern and manufactured tramps since the 1970s, such as the one in the second picture from the Warsaw, are called light rail vehicles. These vehicles are very strong and bigger in size because they are very often made of 2 or more parts, with a body section in the middle which is like a human joint. Do you know that a tramp in Moscow, which has one of the largest existing networks in the networks in the world, the streetcars in Toronto, a city that operates the largest streetcar system in North America. The largest tramp networks in the world are in number 1, Melbourne, number 2, St. Petersburg, number 3, Amsterdam, number 4, Berlin, number 5, Moscow, and number 6, Vienna. Thank you.
Hi, today I and my friends are going to explain you a project which is plastic waste management. We all know we all are suffering from corona pandemic. Because of this, our school is conducting Nirman exhibition digitally. Now my friend Pratyush will explain you forward.
Friends, do you know why is plastic waste management important? Plastic waste management is important as it helps us to reduce plastic pollution at a very high limit. How is plastic waste management done? To explain this part, let me show you a video. Tells that how the plastic bottles get converted into polyester fabric. First, the used bottles are carried to the factory. In the factory, the plastic bottles are categorized into different groups, and then the plastic bottles are crumbled and the labels from them are removed. Then the plastic is categorized into different groups and the pieces are differentiated because of their color, among which white color is the most important. The plastic is then heated for 10 hours up to 270 degrees, and then it is passed to a machine called spent pack, which is again heated to make sure that the plastic doesn't come apart. Now the yarn is made but it is stiff. To make it flexible, it is put into a machine. Then when the yarn is twisted and turned into a spool and made flexible, it is ready to sell to the market. Now my friend Keshav will continue.
This is the residential area from where the trash is sent to the trash area. After this, the truck collects it and then sends to the plastic waste management factory, where fiber is made which is sold in the market to make clothes. In this whole process, two things are made. First is the solid waste, which is sent to the churner. Then it's churned properly and then sent here, and then the manure from here is sent to the field. And the second waste is the liquid waste, which contains water, detergent, soda, etc., which is sent in which is poured in this tank. After this, it is getting purified in this tank, and then the purified water is sent to the field with the help of pipes. Now my friend Samyak will continue.
Hi guys, so what do you understand from this project and my friends? We have learned that we should throw the are reuse, reduce, recycle. It can reduce the air pollution and other pollution as well. Recycle. We are recycling this plastic to make the agricultural uses and fertilizer. And recycle. We are recycling the plastic by reusing it from the factory and making a final product. It can reduce the pollution as well. It can reduce air pollution by not throwing the plastic or burning the plastic. It can reduce water pollution as we are not throwing the chemicals after the final product in the ocean or the seas, which is used in the agriculture. And the land pollution as we are not spreading the plastics anywhere and making a dump at a one place. So these ways you can reduce the plastic use and you can use it in a good way. So can you accept my challenge to throw the garbage in the dustbin and recycling it? If you can accept, then we should throw the garbage in the dustbin, and it is our duty to do this. In this way we can keep our earth lively place to live. Thank you.
Hi, myself Shivam Patil from class 7th F is here to present my science project Ropeway. It is based on ART technology. It was invented by Andrew Halliday in 1867. Now let me show you the making of the project. It is based on waste out of best as I have used sticks, cardboards, etc. Now let me show you the working of the project. When we turn on the switch, the motor pulls the ropeway up with the help of the thread. The motor is attached to a battery with two wires. Now let us discuss the advantages of the ropeway. It is used in hilly areas to transport from one end to another end. It is also used in urban areas to lower the traffic. In India also there are many ropeways installed to shorten the time, such as Raigad ropeway, Darjeeling ropeway, Manali ropeway. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Good morning, sir, madam. My name is Soham Singh, and my topic is automatic hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is important for killing germs. We should take hand sanitizer down when we go. If we will touch anything, so immediately we have to use hand sanitizer. This is the image of hand sanitizer. Soap is used to kill chemical germs which are in a hand. Sanitizer and soap kills the viruses such as coronavirus. Thank you.
Welcome to the Digital Lemon Exhibition 2020. My name is Yash S. Kotil from Standard 7, Division F, roll number 40. My topic is Science, Renewable Energy Sources. Renewable energy is the energy that is collected from renewable resources which are naturally replenished on the human timescale, including carbon-neutral source, light, wind, rain, tides, waves, and geothermal heat. The term often also encompasses biomass as well. Renewable energy often provides energy in four important areas: electricity generation, air, water heating, cooling, transportation, and rural energy services. Tide
Types of renewable energy. The most popular renewable energy sources currently are solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy, tidal energy, biomass energy, geothermal energy. Uses of renewable energy. Generating energy that produces no greenhouse gas emission from fossil fuels and reduces some types of air pollution, diversifying energy supply and reducing the dependence on imported fuels, creating economical development and jobs in manufacturing, installation and more. Another key advantage, they are renewable, which means we would not ever run out of them. This stability could make access energy more stable in the future. While many renewable energy projects are large-scale, renewable technologies are also suited to rural and remote areas and developing countries, where energy is often crucial in human development. Renewable energy deployment is often applied in conjunction with the further electrification, which has several benefits. Electricity can be converted to heat, can be converted into mechanical energy with high efficiency, and is clean at the point of consumption. Advantage of renewable energy. Using the renewable energy over fossil fuels has a number of advantages. Here are some of the of going green. Renewable energy would not run out. Maintenance requirements are lower. Renewable saves money. Disadvantage of renewable energy. Here are some disadvantages to using renewables over traditional fossil fuels sources. Higher upfront cost. While you can save money by using renewable energy, the technologies are typically more expensive upfront than traditional energy generators. Intermittency, storage capacity, geographical limitation. Thank you.